Hi everybody, I am Leo Babauta from Zen Habits, and in this video I'm going to share two things that I think are amazing ways to motivate yourself, and I actually think they're real magic. So two magical ways to motivate yourself. We talk about magic as this kind of like fantasy thing that's made up, make believe, but I actually believe this is real magic. So let's dive into it. Let's imagine, first of all, that you have this long-term project or thing that you want to be doing, a goal that might take weeks, months, even years to get going, but you're struggling to stay consistent with it. You're struggling to motivate yourself to keep going even when things are hard or it's not that exciting. And so this can be a real struggle. And so there's two pieces of motivation that I think are really important. The first one is getting started or restarted if you've started and stopped. And that happens a lot, right? So we might get stopped and then we have to restart. So restarting or just getting started in the first place, we have to find the motivation to just start or restart, start again. And the second place is to sustain it for a long period of time, even when things are not happening, you're not getting any results, you're not getting any positive feedback, you're not getting the rewards. And so, how do we work with motivation in these two kinds of ways? So, the first technique, which I believe is magic, to motivate yourself is to speak a commitment out loud to someone else, one or more people, maybe a group of people. And I'll give you an example in my life. I was having trouble motivating myself to write a book that I've been wanting to write for a while. And so end of last year, I'm like, I'm going to write this book. And then January comes and a number of things happen in my personal life that had me not able to focus on it. And so didn't do it in January and I didn't do it in February either, even though there was really no good reason not to. And so I'm like, 2 months have gone by in this year and, there's only 10 left and I want to actually make sure I write this book. And so I have a group of people in my Fearless Mastery program, a small group that I coach, and they're all taking on a meaningful purpose project to complete this year. And so I'm like, well, I want to do it too. And so I spoke my commitment to them to write that book this year, to write it, to have it edited, to have a book proposal done, and to shop it around to a publisher. Ideally, I'll sell the book by the end of this year and publish it next year. So I spoke that commitment out loud to them. And then, the first thing I said is, and I'm going to write a plan with a timeline and post it to the group. Um, I think it was, 2 days later. And so I worked on that plan. That was the first step. And that plan has had timelines. And then I started creating focus sessions to actually write the book. And now I've been doing that, focus sessions where I invite them to come with me. And so we sit down every morning, 9 a.m. my time, and I work on the book and they work on their project. And that all came from me just speaking the words out loud to them, speaking the commitment. It doesn't take a lot of energy to say some words. It's literally moving, making sound vibrations in the air. Not a lot of energy. We all do it every day. We say a lot of words. And so speaking a commitment to someone is just saying, I am going to do this by this date. I am going to do this by then. So by the end of this year, by the end of this month, by the end of this week, by tomorrow, by the end of today, by March 15th, or whatever the date is that you want to finish something by, I will do this by this date. You speak it out loud, and that, I believe, is like saying a spell, like a magic spell. I'm going to give you another example. I had someone who I worked with, amazing person, and they put on a festival in a city in the U.S. And they recalled to me the time when they were at the festival. The festival was there in the streets, and people were there like doing amazing things, and they remember standing there in the middle of this festival, looking around. This is a festival that they helped put on. Actually, they decided to put on, and they looked around and they're like, "Oh my God, this is actually a reality." And a number of months ago, it was only an idea in my head, a vision. And they spoke some words to others, and they said, "I would like to put on this festival. Would you like to join me?" Just a handful of words. And people saw that vision that they had for the festival. They shared the vision, and the people were like, "Yeah, that would be really cool. We're in. Let's do this." And then they all helped put it on, and they invited others and put out this vision to others. But the initial thing that actually made this festival happen is speaking this vision into the world and inviting others to come in. And just that speaking was a magic spell. It actually made reality change. This festival happened, people experienced it. It literally happened in the world from the start being words spoken to others. So an invitation, a commitment. So this is something that I believe is a magic spell. You say the words and then something changes. Something happens from that. It's speaking a spell, and magic happens that actually changes reality. So you can call me crazy for calling it magic, but I actually think that that's the kind of magic, is speaking a spell, a commitment or an invitation that actually has you doing something. I am much more motivated to write my book now. I have focus sessions, I have a plan, and I have a group of people who I spoke a commitment out loud to. I am going to do this by this date. So that would be the first magic motivation. I actually believe it's magic. You just say it and something happens. So speak a commitment to others, or invite them. Okay, so that's the first magical motivation technique. And the second one is, um, and so let's imagine you are struggling to stay motivated long term. You're working on the project, but it's a slog, right? And it's like, I have to get through this, and eventually I'll have some kind of reward. There's going to be people are going to use this thing that I'm creating, and they're going to enjoy it, and I'll feel good. Eventually, there's going to be a reward. But today, as I work on it, there's no reward. Like, there's no positive feedback. There's no amazing experience. There's just like, I need to slog through it. Someone I talked to recently is a book writer, writes fiction, and then they're in the phase of their book of giving birth to this book where they have to edit it. And so every day that you're not creating, you're going over the same material over and over again, hopefully to kind of make some changes that are going to be positive, but you have to go through this slog of editing. And so it's not fun, right? Like, this is not why I signed up to be a writer or a creator of any kind, or, I don't like this slog. So how do we motivate ourselves when we are going through this kind of day-to-day thing without any hope of a reward for weeks, months, years? So here's the magical technique. There's an exercise where you can envision that you're in that future, whether it's months from now or years from now. Envision that you're at that point where the project is done. Let's say you wrote that book, you made a music album, you created a course for others, you started a nonprofit that's doing some positive good in the world. And so you're at that future point where it's actually a reality. Now let's imagine it's as good as you could imagine it. It's not like some crappy version of it, or like I failed. No, this is the best outcome possible. So imagine yourself in that place. What does it feel like that you would really like? Now, of course, it's like a relief. You did it, you got it done, you feel good about that. But what else? Go beyond that. Like, is there some kind of amazing experience you would like to have that feels expansive, that lights you up? Like, it feels like, oh, my love is out there into the world, or I get to feel the joy of having people experience this festival that I created, or I feel wonder at whatever it is. So there's like an expansive experience. My invitation to you is to feel that experience. Imagine you're in that future. You've time traveled to the future. Feel that experience. What would that be like that makes you really want to get through this project and actually work on it day by day? What would that feel like? Some experience of life that you really want, an inner experience that would be amazing, that makes this project worthwhile. So that's the first part of this magical technique. The second one is just as important, maybe even more important, which is to take that experience that's there in the future. Let's say it's 2 years from now. Let's say it's like joy and wonder, right? Or adventure and curiosity. Who knows, right? Maybe it's magic and divinity. Take that experience and pull it forward into today and tomorrow and the next day when you're actually working on the project. So imagine you wanted to feel wonder and joy, right? Can you feel it right now? Well, you just did it because you time traveled and you imagined this future. You felt it. So you're capable of feeling wonder and joy that's there at the end of this path. You're capable of feeling it every step along the way. So as you work on that book editing or creating this festival or this course or this music album, feel the thing that you want to feel. Maybe you want to feel dance and, magic. Maybe you want to feel expansive and peaceful or connected to the infinite. Whatever it is you want to feel, pull that into right now. And each day, each time you work on this thing, and actually allow yourself to feel it. Imagine that it's happening and experience it as you create it. And that way, the thing that you're creating actually will have this experience of life infused throughout it, because you're feeling it not just at the end, but throughout. This is a magical technique of time traveling, imagining this future, feeling the experience, and then pulling that through a wormhole into the present moment so you get to actually feel the experience now, not just later. That's the second magical technique of motivation. Okay, that's what I've got for you. Sending you all love. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and then subscribe if you'd like more of these videos in the future. Thanks, my friends. I'll talk to you later.